this energy of like, hey, like you're gonna fucking learn today. You're gonna fucking learn today, right? And it's like, I don't know why it just feels like if somebody has disrespected you or somebody has not done right by you, and you just have been feeling like you want some sort of karmic revenge. This video is for you, right? But I don't know why there's this like sudden feeling of like, hey, if you didn't learn last time, you're gonna fucking learn today, right? That's specifically what's coming through from this reading. And I feel like for some of you guys are very spiritually protected. You're very spiritually protected, or there's just something about you that kind of carries a lot of divine protection, and being shown right here with the strength and the Knight of Wands, we do have that energy of fast movement towards problems that we could have, or fast movement or fast resolution to being able to deal with things. So I feel like that message is very clean right here, or the message is presenting itself very heavily with, you really can't mess with somebody that has a lot of strength. You really can't just position yourself and try to play chess when you can't position yourself with somebody and try to play checkers when you're actively playing chess, right? For a lot of you guys, the individual that you could be dealing with tends to go into hermit mode, or just tends to close off when conflict arrives. King of Cups reverse. Or if you're dealing with an individual, you could be dealing with a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. But this King of Cups being shown right here in reverse shows up as crybaby, emotionally immature, or maybe a mama's boy, or a daddy's girl. That's specifically what's coming through from this energy. But the strength and the Knight of Wands being shown right here, it's like you have something, or you have someone actively fighting your battles, right? So if lately you have been feeling like, maybe the problem wasn't solved, or you just feel like the energies around you are just not moving around how they're supposed to, it's like there's this energy of, hey, you have to give it time. Hey, you have to give it time. When we want something good to happen, when we want something to present itself, it has to have time. It cannot be from day to night. There has to have time, or there has to be some form of time behind that, with the Hanged Man being shown right here in reverse, right? Queen of Cups reverse, King of Cups reverse. So a lot of you guys are still energetically connected to your individual, or right now the person that you're dealing with, you guys are currently feeling very imbalanced. There's like a humongous imbalance right here. The Queen of Cups being you, the King of Cups being them. There's this sense of, hey, you know what, as of now, what the universe really wants you to do, what the universe kind of wants you to focus on, is focus more on your kind of intuition, focus more on your power, focus more on trying to nurture those soft spots that you nurture in other people. Nurture the soft spots that you nurture in other people. We are currently fighting battles for you that you personally cannot see. So you're over here thinking, oh, you're over here thinking, what, somebody kind of one up me, somebody disrespected me, and it just feels like they're getting away with it. No, you know how they say that the faster you rise, the harder you fall. That's what I'm feeling from the energy of this person, or that's what I'm feeling from the energy of the situation, where the universe is just telling you, hey, relax, hey, chill, we got this in the bag for you. All you have to do is kind of position yourself in a place where you start to nurture those inner parts of you that you tend to nurture in other people. And I feel like I'm going to clock you guys when it comes down to that. You tend to nurture other individuals, but you have this lack of nurturing for yourself, and that personally I don't see it as right. That personally I don't think it's good, right? So right now the universe is telling you with the Strength, the Knight of Wands, the Hanged Man, hey, cabrona, hey, cabron, there's actively no battle to fight right here. All you gotta do is chill out, relax, enjoy the fucking show. We're going to fight this battle for you. Please give me more info on this King of Cups reverse. Please give me more info on this King of Cups reverse. The Moon, I'm telling you, like, there's like the sense of, look, it's fucking crazy. You see? We're fighting battles for you. Things are meant to balance themselves out naturally. Why are you so worried? And I do feel like the justice is presenting itself right here. But when it comes down to them, the Moon, the Star reverse, the King of Cups reverse, this could honestly be like an older person. Like you could be dealing with somebody past the age of 25 that still act like a fucking kid. Doesn't matter if they're a woman, doesn't matter if they're a guy. You could literally be dealing with somebody that's past the age of 25 that can genuinely act like a fucking kid or that has not had their frontal lobe developed. As simple as that, you know? But the King of Cups reverse right here, or the other person in your situation, for some reason they're craving some form of emotional nurturing, right? They're craving some sort of emotional healing, but the moon is what's actively preventing them from expanding into deeper levels of emotional love or emotional care, emotional self-evaluation. I feel like that's what's coming through. I feel like that's what's positioning itself very, very highly right here. At the King of Cups reverse, the moon and the star reverse, the cards are coming out very, very, very strongly with like the underlying energy of, as of now, girl, girl, like, what the fuck? You know why they're taking so long, or why you feel like it's taking so long for like them to get repercussions for what they did to you? It's because their actions are gonna lead them to their own fucking downfall. So Spirit is literally telling you, hey, you don't even have to lift a fucking finger. Or you actively don't have to lift a finger for an individual like this to have a demise, you know, because you are being asked to kind of self nurture yourself. In due time, justice will basically arrive. In due time, the scales will balance themselves out. And this doesn't have to be a lover. This could be like maybe an ex friend, or this could be maybe like an ex, you know, people that I used to hang out with, or maybe even family members. But it's like their behavior, their character, their own lack of self development. It's what's going to be their specific downfall, you know? And a lot of you guys are, I feel like this message is more for reassurance that when somebody does cross you, or when somebody does kind of like disrespect you, or when somebody does kind of like position you in a place where you just aren't so happy or create satisfaction, that there's really nothing much you can do, because it's gonna be them that's gonna bring their own specific downfall. You also have the Four of Wands reversed. So right now, some of you guys' homes is feeling fucking chaotic. Some of you guys' homes are literally feeling extremely fucking chaotic, right? So maybe you could be having a lot of arguments with family, specifically with your mother, Queen of Cups reverse, right? Or for some reason your family told you, hey, like this person is nothing but issues or nothing but problems, right? So I definitely want to point out but having the underlying energy of the King of Cups right here, the moon, the star reverse, it's like, hey, like their own behavior, their development of no frontal lobe, it's what's going to cause their specific demise, right? So there's no reason for us to specifically fight your battles. Like, hey, we can nudge some things in their direction, but eventually the fact that they don't know how to like deal with their own problems and you were always there to kind of help them solve them, that's what's going to kind of like cause more chaos, or that's what's going to cause things to basically fall apart, you know? And we could be talking about an ending of a relationship. Two of Cups reverse, right? Because the Two of Cups being shown right here in reverse does kind of present itself very highly with like the underlying energy of some form of broken partnership, some form of broken promises, some form of broken relationship, right? Or there's just that it's specific imbalance right there. So one thing that I do want you to acknowledge, one thing that I do kind of want you to be able to realize, your relationship to them kind of has been something that has provided a lot of emotional balance, a lot of emotional nurturing. You know, it's like you have the sense of home behind you, but I also want you to know that you kind of are more mentally mature than them, or you kind of are more emotionally open, more emotionally available. And don't get me wrong, I feel like they thought they could actively take advantage of that, and now this is why it's backfiring. And I feel like your spirit team is basically telling you, hey, there's really nothing for you to worry about. You have to be focused more on nurturing yourself, nurturing you, kind of tapping more into those parts of you that you give to others. And for them, there's this lack of recognition of what I have to do to actually become better. So we can throw a few things into their path to make it more difficult. But when it comes down to them, like I will tell you, and I want you to actively acknowledge that their own behaviors, their own patterns, their own specific situations are what are going to cause their specific downfall. So you don't really have to worry about the battles that you have to worry about the battles that you're fighting, not the battles that they're fighting, okay? And